Welcome back. We're starting to come into the final moments of our conversation here about job scams and tender scams and the need for you to be vigilant and careful. And we've been posing questions and comments to our panel that's joining us here in Woodmead, just north of Johannesburg. And we now go to table number 3, where we'll find Sabelo, who's got a question.
We look at, good morning everybody, these scams. The people use scams because they're trying to make money out of other people's expenses. But the problem is we know these scammers. And the thing is how people invest in certain business that they're on piracy. I may pose this question. Where's Triple M today?
Where's who?
Triple M.
Triple M. Oh, right, yes, the Ponzi scheme. Yeah. And
we know those people, but we don't come. We don't come up and because those are people that we live with in our communities. So and at the end of the day we blame the police.
Right. Okay. So you're saying that as a community, we
know
who these scammers are, and we need to report them.
So where's Triple M, gentlemen?
All right, okay. Let's go to table number 2, where Moses Mashishi is. Is this Mashishi?
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
Good morning to everybody. My company has received a number of these types of solicitation where we've really tried to work with the SAPS and they've been responding quite positively. But we found that there seems to be a lack of coordination between the different crime-fighting bodies, where, as an example, we had to approach, I think it was the NPA or the judiciary, so that the matter would not be seen as entrapment. And that whole process took quite a while. So is there a coordinated effort by the crime-fighting organization to try and address this? Thank you.
Okay. So it's great to have these units, but as we heard from Alexandra, there could be better coordination. Would you agree?
No, of course, I agree, but I can safely say to the gentleman and to the audience that within the South African police and created the Hawks, there is a great level of coordination. Because within the Hawks, when we investigate, we work on the basis of a multidisciplinary approach. Now, the multidisciplinary approach entails bringing in everybody. Now, NPA is part of it because we have that level of agreement with them. And all these other parties are included in that team. So when I sit with, as an IO, sit with the prosecutor in our planning, because that's how the case is dealt with. We plan the prosecution to see where we are going. And all these other parties are worked into a project plan and is being investigated in that sense. It may not be obvious to the person outside, or we do not communicate that fact to the victim or the complaining party. But in reality, behind the scenes, it is something that does happen.
Right.
And just to come back to the issue of what the gentleman raised in terms of the investment scheme, I'm not going to speak about Triple M per se, but I think for people just to be vigilant, because what makes it more difficult in the investigation, because a lot of these scams turn out into civil matters, because people are not vigilant to read. And I think Mr. Naidu touched on it to say what level of people are targeted. It's either the elder, those who are being led to believe what they must sign is what they should.
Right.
And you'll find that a lot of investment scams runs with people think they are investing. But the contract they are signing is loan agreements, whereby the entity is actually entering into a loan agreement with you. So you are actually borrowing that money to that person now on the premise that you will get this return.
Right.
But you think you are investing it, like a fixed-term investment.
All right. Clive, you must see these all the time. What is a quick way to see whether something is a Ponzi scheme or it's a real deal?
On the investment side, you
Yeah.
need to check if the guy is registered with the Financial Services Board. There's a website that's available.
So if they're not registered,
If they're not
forget it.
registered, don't even bother, because that's the first point. So you need to make sure that they're registered. But on the other side, the most important thing is that there should be always an affiliation. So there's never a guy who works on investment on his own. There's platforms that are available.
Yeah.
So you've got your normal guys, your popular guys that are available. The documentation will say there'll be an FSP, there'll be an advert that shows that specifically that company is linked with somebody else. But yeah, I mean, it's a very, very common thing within the investment side. I want to know, I personally want to know who's posting these things about penis enlargements all over the place. Because that's just one of those things you're like, why would somebody get away with that crime? Similarly to the Triple M guys. So it means that these guys are playing with our emotions. And they know that we've got a guy now who's sitting somewhere away that the FBI can't get a hold of, which is the WikiLeaks leader, Julian. You know, so it's so difficult. That's why I feel sorry for the police sometimes. How do you track these guys down? How do you make sure that they are prosecuted? Because it is really, really difficult to try and fight cybercrime, and hence the reason there's so much money involved in it. Some of them they come in the forms of a investment vehicle. So, if, for example, you know, a lot of guys in the forex market, for example, guys want to play in that market. They see these 110% growth margins, and you're like, oh, that sounds very exciting. So we must just be very careful. I think the last thing I want to mention is that we need to educate our consumer. They need to be empowered by knowledge, and the only way you do that is making sure that companies such as our parastatals have enough information available in a language that people understand. Because if you start using contractual language, it's very difficult for a simple man to understand what it means. So everything must be done in a simple manner so that our consumer can be better equipped.
Okay, let me see if I can get a couple of more people in, and you're going to have to be very quick because we're running out of time. Noke, is this bail number 3, table number 3? Is it Noku? Noku, yes. But be very quick, we're running out of time.
Thank you, Peter. My name is Noku Bale, a member of Obesco. My issue is about SCM. As a business person, you find that somebody is calling you, asking the quotation.
Right.
You became so excited because you have been not having the business for more than 5 years or more than few months. So you do that quotation. Immediately when you are preparing your quotation, that person call you again and say, can you please provide me with your bank details? So you provide him or her. She or he deposited something like 10,000 rand so that you can prepare the business with her or him. Only to find that after some while, that cash reversed with your remaining amount, maybe of 200 rand.
Right.
So when you call that person, with amazing message, you call that person again, he is no more to be found.
Wow.
So can you please assist us? Hawks?
Okay. So this has happened to you?
Yes.
This has actually happened to you?
It happens to me, it happens to a lot of people, especially the business from government department, maybe Department of Home Affairs, they want your catering or to supply something for them. Thank you.
Okay, all right. All right, so unfortunately we've run out of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you all to make your final comments, but please, if you could take note of her question in your final comment. Let me start with you, young Clive.
Well, the most important thing with the CSA is it's a very electronic system. And the problem with that is that our people who are doing business, your small micro businesses, don't have access to those kind of things. So I would suggest that before you take a call that says, come and quote with me, there will be normally an address or a number that you can call to get contact with those people to confirm that actually it is a legitimate business that you're doing. So that's what I would say. But if you have better ways of educating consumers, that's very easy for them to pick up those kind of things if it's out there in the open.
Okay, Mr. Thomas?
I think basically if you are in doubt, talk to us.
Okay.
And then also be circumspect in your actions.
And a
Take care.
good place to start is reception on the number that's in the phone book, isn't it?
Correct.
It's a Major General.
Yeah, I just need to echo what has been said about in the event of job scams, tender scams, is to first try and see, get to the real department, real entity, and get to their offices, be it by telephone. For the lady who mentioned her problem, I suggest she goes to the nearest police station, and like I said, if she resides in Johannesburg, in Elof Street, there's a commercial crime unit. She can, 64 Elof Street, she can go there and seek the necessary steps.
Fantastic. Molatwane?
We appreciate the relationship that we have. The police, as I'm talking today, we have 4 identified suspects. One of them is appearing before the Johannesburg Magistrate Court today. So we're hoping that whatever sentence that gets meted on the man, if he's proven to be guilty, is the one that will deter those people who are trying their luck. And South Africa, we're appealing to them all to help us to make sure that we fight this case together.
All right, fantastic. Molatwane, Likhethe, thank you very much indeed. Major General Alfred Khana, Edward Thomas, thank you, and Clive Ramatabela Smith, and also earlier Molefi Nkhabu, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us. You at home, listen, if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. If it's easy, it's too easy. So just be vigilant. The moment somebody asks you for money, wake up. That's where you really need to be careful and start checking independently. That's it from us here, talking about job scams and tender scams. Be alert. Phishing, smishing, it's real and it's taking people's money. From us though, have a great day everybody, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.